Today on Drawbli, we are drawing
Black and white face value studies.
again.
Again.
Click that subscribe button if you are new around here.
And comment below with other ideas of what we can draw to improve our art.
So we actually just recorded this entire episode and realized, that we weren't recording in fact at all.
Life happens.
So here we are again to talk about this beautiful painting by Abby. I've already seen it once. So
Now
I
you
already
get to
know.
take it all in once more.
So Abby was telling me all about this very bougie coffee shop, and I would love to hear about this coffee shop again.
So the context of that was I worked on this piece of art at a very bougie coffee shop.
As we often do.
Although this was the bougiest one yet. It was attached to a very bougie neighborhood. And I was on my way to meet a friend at a very different coffee shop that I like.
Not quite as bougie.
When I passed this one and I said, oh, why don't I just try here? Because it had an outdoor seating area and the one I was headed to did not. And it was a beautiful day.
Oh, you did sit outside? Oh,
Wait, I sat
briefly?
inside to draw this, and then when my friend arrived, we sat outside on the veranda.
The veranda?
Yes.
I was going to say, because drawing outside on an iPad is actually quite difficult just because of the amount of light. It makes it very difficult to see your screen. So if I do draw outside, I aim for the shade.
Yes. The paper screen protectors we have help a little bit, I feel like, with that.
Oh, do they? I don't think so at all.
No? Oh, well, maybe I'm just imagining that.
It cuts down on, glare, because it is glass, I guess. It makes it, slightly less reflective.
Yeah, but it also maybe dims the overall light you're able to see.
Potentially, yeah. I'm not sure on the science of it all.
No. But there I was in the upstairs area where everybody was very quiet.
A two-story coffee shop, as we just have everywhere.
Yeah. And I was listening in on bougie conversations and drinking some bougie coffee, which, fun fact, I love coffee, but
Oh, I was going to ask you about this. I forgot to.
I really don't like all the fancy coffee that comes from our wonderful local roasters. We have many roasters who work with wonderful people all over the world to create often fair trade coffee brands, or not.
But you don't want any of that. You just want
I want those Starbucks burnt beans.
Starbucks burnt beans.
That's what all my coffee roaster friends say that Starbucks does.
They burn their beans?
They burn their beans, and that's why we like their flavor.
And that's why we like their flavor. Well, maybe they should start burning their beans.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know exactly what they mean by burning their beans, but there is definitely... I've had burnt coffee before, and
that's different. Burnt coffee is disgusting.
Yeah, that does not taste good.
No, well, I was told by my coffee roasting friend that Starbucks burns their beans in the roasting process.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Exactly.
I don't either, but I know that they do something different, and that I like it.
So, I think we both share the same opinion on more, let's call it bougie coffee, where... let's say lavender coffee, for instance. I've had lavender coffee probably a few times. And every time I'm like, this doesn't really add anything to the coffee that I enjoy. It's just this extra flavor in here that's, it's a little subtle, but the subtle part that is there, I don't like.
And the flavor profiles they add to the nice coffees, like green apple.
Oh, what?
Whenever I get one of those, I'm like,
before.
it tastes like somebody dumped lemonade into this
coffee.
coffee.
No way, what?
That's how
so
it always
weird.
tastes to me, super
I've never
acidic.
what?
And even
so
with the
confused.
creamer that I add, it's like...
I have only had lavender coffee and other kind of floral types of coffee. Something that has floral notes.
Yeah, because I feel like when we go
water.
to the bougie coffee shops, that's when I'm ultimately having to decide okay, do I get a really nice latte where I won't really notice those flavor differences? Although I did try that once. I got that tiramisu little weird espresso shot.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Bleh. Except for the cookie that was in it. There was a whole finger cookie in it that was really nice. But I just like coffee and half normally, so.
All right, I have to stop us talking about bougie coffee for just a moment to say that this looks absolutely amazing.
Well, thank
which
you.
I did say a lot in our last attempted recording that we failed on. I think this is one of your best pieces of late.
Oh, you say that sometimes, and it's so sweet. And I'm always a little confused because I can never tell. But I agree. I actually think this is better than the last couple things I did.
You mentioned focusing on some of your failures with this piece, but there are a great deal more successes than failures. The stuff that you do here to the eyes is just... Mwah, chef's kiss.
Thank you. I really enjoyed. I think what I was telling you before was that I really liked going in with the refining early because I always enjoy that. I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk about how it's like their special reward at the end of a drawing is going in and refining. And maybe we can be more of a dessert first style in this particular case.
And one thing that we haven't mentioned yet that you do in this painting is what?
I flipped the canvas.
Like multiple times.
Yeah.
You never flip your canvas. Yeah. As I've stated, I think our first piece of merch is going to be flip your canvas.
Yes. You won't regret it.
You will not well, you might. If you wait too long, you might regret flipping your canvas.
Well, that's the thing is once you've gone too long and you realize you haven't done it, you should just never do it. Never. Just live in this fantasy land where everything was right the first time from every possible angle.
Tell me about your strategy with these eyes. Like, tell me about your process.
Yeah, so I was trying to get in some of like the texture by adding a charcoal brush here, just to get in that smokiness. I wanted to convey the different form of her lower eyelid to see how it wraps up around her eyeball. I was trying to convey that a little bit better.
I think you did a very good job.
Thank you. And, you know what's funny is I did flip the canvas and I turned it upside down. The reason I turned it upside down was because somehow, and I only know this now how I did this, I turned my reference upside down in the reference window.
Oh, yeah?
And I didn't know how to turn it right side up again. So I said, I guess I'm just going to work upside down now. And then I figured it out later. It was like a double tap.
Oh, okay.
But
Interesting. Well, something that's interesting in terms of techniques, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but painting a face upside down for like the entirety, it kind of gets you focused more on the shapes that you are creating, rather than getting stuck on this idea that I talk about a lot, which is getting caught up in what things look like right now versus where they are going. A lot of the time when you're working on a face, you get really stuck on like, oh, it doesn't look like the image. And of course it's not going to look like the thing that you're working on right away. There's a lot that you have to do in terms of groundwork that's going to look ugly, that's going to be construction stuff, that is going to take a long time, you know? And
That's very true.
It's going to look bad along the way.
yeah, that's definitely something I've encountered a couple times. It's just the looking bad along the way and trying to muscle through that.
I really also like your technique here with the hair. We were talking earlier about how difficult curly hair is, just because I think one of the most difficult things about hair is how it kind of interweaves and plays with, you know, itself. And curly hair is like the worst example of that, where there's just so much going on.
It's a crazy puzzle.
Right, it's a crazy puzzle. And if you kind of just hint at it slightly, you can kind of fall into a trap where you hint at it in a bad way, and then it falls apart. Like the illusion just doesn't work. So
Right.
Hair is tough.
Yeah.
Hair's very tough.
It's hard enough to draw. I can only imagine trying to sculpt it, where you can't really cheat it at all, really.
Well, there are some ways. There are some ways for sure. But you did a very good job. There's a lot of success here in your hair. You were talking about how you were worried about the hair on the forehead, but I think it's fun. I think it works.
Thank you. And then I finally added some overlay using two colors, pink and purple. And initially when I added them, I couldn't see the colors that I used.
Why not?
I don't remember why this was the case, but I just kind of splashed them on. And then I turned, I had them on the wrong layer. That's what it was. I had them under my other layer. So then I moved it. And so it was just a total surprise how it turned out. And I just loved it anyway.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a fun effect.
Yeah,
a fun
because I
little
could
thing to
never be
throw on
totally
there.
black and white. I love my pink and
You
purple.
gotta have the colors.
Gotta have some colors. It's just so fun.
And if you want to see more colors, you should click that subscribe button.
Yeah, and comment below with other ideas of how we can improve our art.
Improve our colors.
Yes.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
goodbye, everybody.
Take two, very successful.
Oh yeah, even better than the first.
Yeah, you
Much
didn't miss
better.
anything.
Honestly, it was worth it. We should do this more often. We should record every episode twice.
Yeah, for sure.